Welcome back to episode 8 of the Kang Gang Pod.
Let's go, buddy. Whoa, boys. I have a state of the union that I need to address.
Okay.
Everybody on the Kang Gang Pod, as we know, this week was a very difficult week. There was an outcome that happened that, let's just say, didn't go our way. And the one man responsible for making that happen was Scott Foster. Wow. Tonight, against the Kings, was calling a game that favored a Los Angeles team. And because of that, our outcome didn't go our way. We were hoping to go 3-0, but we went 2-1, not the outcome that we wanted. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 8 of the Kang Gang Pod. I'm here with Cristo and Johnny, and obviously, my name is RT. We are very excited. Obviously, again, if you did not hear the intro, we were supposed to go 3-0, but Scott Foster stopped us. And what we're going to do is cover each game. There was a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but we got to just start with the negatives first, and especially in the Clippers game.
Wow. If you're listening at home, that was very impromptu. We did not expect that.
I was in the middle of talking to the people, introducing the pod, and you just
but he said all facts.
You took over. No,
he said all facts.
I think what he said was necessary. I think it was very important.
Very unexpected.
Let
but
your
very
voice
necessary.
be heard. Do not shut up and dribble.
Yes,
wow.
do not shut up and dribble.
Taken back.
Yeah, do not shut up and dribble, everybody.
Wow.
Ryan Clark. Wow. Thank you for that, by the way. But
that woke me the fuck up.
This is going to be a different episode because we're not going to go in a chronological order. We're actually going to work backwards because we're recording this 5 minutes after watching a devastating, one of the worst games I've seen in a long time. It's bad, man. And the fact that it happens at the Golden One Center just makes me so upset because we're the number one arena and we need to treat it that way. We weren't there, but the arena looked silent. There was no energy in the arena.
On a Friday night. This is when people should be lively. They should be upbeat. This is when they should have the most energy. And it wasn't there. And it's through not the TV. It wasn't there.
It's not the fans' fault. It's just like, obviously, like there wasn't much to cheer about. Offense. But you still need to, like, the Kings feed off energy. Like, we need to be there as a fan base to, like, help them out, you know? Because obviously that whole game was hard to watch. It was a very slow,
very tough watch.
There was no flow to the game. It was extremely slow. Let's dive in. We lose to the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't even know the final score. We lost by over 10.
I think it was like 107-98.
Final score was 107-98. I don't remember the last time the Kings have scored less than 100 points. I really don't.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the last time the Kings have scored less than 100 points?
NBA teams in general, but they all score over 100.
Right? Less than 100 points? It's been since like 2012.
That's wild.
You know?
Okay, we have to fact check. That's a long time ago.
It's been a long time. But
if that's
98
right,
points,
I'm mind blown.
If that's not like the Kings, Cristo. That's not like the Kings.
It's not the Kings I know. That's for sure. The team that I saw tonight was not the team that I saw on Wednesday, on Monday. This was a completely different team. We were not flowing as a team. We were not. Okay, let me just say this. Can we just start the podcast by saying the Sacramento Kings shot 3 for 26 from the 3-point line.
That's awful.
That's terrible.
That's awful. And it's a shame, too, because we are playing good defense. The Clippers are one of the best offenses in the league. Held them to 107 points, right? Less than 110. And we just can't score enough on their defense to take control and win the game, right? We played a good defensive game, held them to 107. They didn't have the star players to really go off against us. Norman Powell had a good game, but other than that, James Harden had a pretty mild game. We should have scored enough to win the game, and we really didn't. I mean, De'Aaron Fox had 31. Sabonis had 23. Other than that, no one had more than 17 points. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
And Malik was the one that had 17, right?
Malik had 17.
He definitely had a bounce back game. Toronto, I know we'll talk about it in a couple minutes, but definitely a much higher input from Malik Monk. He was definitely not as crazy on the court. You know, sometimes the thing we love about Malik is his energy. In that Toronto game, my God, he was all over the place. This game, he was scoring the basket. I mean, he was getting people involved. That two-man game with Sabonis was great in that second quarter, but it just did not lead to anything. Like, that whole game was
agree.
It was not a good game.
It's a tough one.
Through its entirety. There was anything really good.
This is a game where you need Keegan or Kevin Huerter to be at least average. Keegan had 7 points, over 6 from 3. Kevin Huerter, 2 for 5, 0 for 3 from 3, 4 points. This is a game where we really need those guys. And Sabonis showed up, 23 points, right? He always does, 12 rebounds.
Always shows up.
DeRozan, 13 points. Not his best game, but still, you need your other 2 starters. It's not just 3 players on our court. You need your other 2 starters to score at least 10 points. Keegan and Kevin Huerter didn't show up tonight. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Offensively, they did not show up.
Offensively, they didn't show up tonight.
I think-
Great defensive game.
Yeah.
Offense wasn't there.
Yeah, I think the offense was just very lackluster, very lackadaisical, lacked movement. I mean, you saw in the first...
Lacked everything.
Lacked
You keep
everything.
using that word lack. 'Cause
It just
they
lacked.
were lacking
It was just lacked
everything
everything.
imaginable.
Yeah, it was lacked everything. It was just like when DeRozan, he didn't really get the ball in the first half. And when we watched the second half, it was like, oh, he's getting the ball. He's getting the flow. And, well, because you have to be able to construct it. It was almost like watching Harrison Barnes out there tonight. Like, that's what it felt like. Just
Let me ask
Yeah.
you this. Let me ask you this, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Deep sigh. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
First half, DeMar DeRozan went 1 for 5. He shot the ball only 5 times in the entire first half. Who has been the most consistent player the first 8 games?
I'd say DeMar.
Why is he only shooting 5 times? Why did he look completely lost and out of the... Like, he was not part of the game plan and did not look like he was part of the game
I
plan
agree
the
with that.
full first half.
But in DeMar's defense, our other 2 starters, a.k.a. Keegan and Kevin, should recognize that, hey, it's not DeMar's night. Let's be more aggressive on the offensive end, right? And if Keegan's 3-point shot isn't going in, 0 for 6 from 3, drive the paint. Get to the free throw line. You've seen DeMar do that. He's a prime example of doing that. You don't need to shoot threes to get your offense going. Keegan is 6'8", 7-foot wingspan. Get to the free throw line and find your flow through that.
We had absolutely zero movement, I felt like, the entire game. Like, our offense was...
If you want to be a successful team
non-existent.
in this league, it has to be a whole team effort. It can't be just your 3 best players banking on them having the game of their life every single night. You need a full, at least starting 5. I know our bench isn't the deepest, but you need at least a full starting 5 to give you that full effort. And Kevin, Huerter, and Keegan didn't show up tonight.
So I have a stat for you.
Offensive-wise.
So I have a stat for you guys that I think that's going to be very interesting, and for the pod too. So right now we are currently ranked 40. We have a 48% field goal percentage just in general. Can you guess?
Wait, is that the first 8 games, or is that including tonight's
that
game?
includes tonight. So
that
it's
means it was higher. That means it was much higher.
48% in from the field in general, but from 3-point percentage,
10%. No.
No.
8 point. No, 9.5%.
Actually, that's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's 32% from 3.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about tonight.
Oh, no. So
you're talking
that's
about
just
overall. My
overall.
bad.
Overall, no. That's
Okay,
okay. I
32 is
shouldn't
not
admit it.
terrible.
So 32, it actually ranks the 4th worst in the league.
Yeah. And shout out to King's Muse on Twitter, but at the end of the day, and shout out to their tweet, shooting is a major issue, but the biggest issue is only having 7 players you can actually play and rely on. And that's huge, right? And I know we're having injuries with Devin Carter. Orlando Robinson was supposed to be a big piece for us. But at the end of the day, you need depth to win in this league. I mean, we've seen it with the OKC Thunder. They were the number 1 seed last year because they played dang near 12 players at once.
Yeah.
And they all contributed.
There's guys on OKC's bench that I don't even know who they are, and you look at the stat sheet and they're filling it up.
So as good as our starters are, you got to have more than 7 people contribute to a team. As good as Fox, DeRozan, and Sabonis are, you need to have a deep team in this league if you want to compete for a championship.
I think to
have 7 players is it's not the recipe
Like
for
2
success.
2 years ago, I think a lot of people would agree that we had a very, very good bench last year and very, very good depth. That's why we were very successful 2 years ago with 48 wins.
And I think missing Devin Carter is huge. I think
Missing
he's going to be a
Devin-
big
yeah.
piece.
You know who else
coming
are
back.
missing? I hate to say it because I'm a big fan of the guy. Where has Trey Lyles been? He's been an incredible piece for our team for the past 2 seasons, and so far, I know it's a small sample size, but Trey, I know he's probably at Barnes and Noble reading a novel right now, but Trey, we need you.
And
We
shout out to
Trey.
Kings Muse again on Twitter, but just running through their tweet, 3-point shooting tonight for the Kings. Fox 2 for 5, Keon 1 for 3, Sabonis 0 for 2, Monk 0 for 2, DeMar 0 for 2, Keegan 0 for 6, Kevin 0 for 3, Lyles 0 for 2. So as good of a defensive game as we're going to play, holding the Clippers to under 110, which is a very good achievement, you're not going to win any games shooting that poor from the 3-point line.
Not at all.
You're not.
Not at all. Not at all.
I have a question, because making only 3-pointers in an NBA game is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like that is insane.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? Why do you think we can't, like, because in the past years, BM Team era, we were one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. Last year we took a step back. This year we fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Fourth worst.
Can you, like, do you guys have, like, just what is your take on why we're almost horrendous from the 3-point line?
I think it has to do with the fact that we're a team, especially when you add DeMar DeRozan, that's such a very big mid-range shooter team. Like who he is as a person, he's a very big mid-range guy. De'Aaron has been a guy that's been very solid at getting to his mid-range spot. I think the fact is that it is a slump, and I think it's something that we are going to figure out. Again, there are a lot of positives that I think that have been very good for us this season, but I think when you look at just the general aspect of this team, I think this team is very good at being in the middle of the paint. I don't know who somebody said this. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were just like, this Sacramento Kings team is very, very good at getting to the paint. But once this team figures out how to shoot the three, it's going to be hard to stop them in the playoffs. And right now, I think our three is lacking that because we're just not seeing stuff go in. Again, it is a make or miss league. But I think if our shot goes in, if we're able to get our three, be able to connect that, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 130 almost every single night because we are capable of that. Our offense has been amazing. And that's just kind of one of those things that's like, yes, today was a bad game. We didn't shoot the ball well. But there are some things that you could take away that, like, listen, everybody just needs to continue just getting better. I will say that our offense was a little bit sloppy. And I think it could have been, there was just some sloppy play. So that needs to be cleaned up. There has to be more urgency to attack the rim, get them in foul trouble. Like in the third quarter, we were able to cut that lead to 4 because we were able to just get to the foul line, get them in trouble, and then we go away from it in the fourth, and that's when they take away the game. I think that's the biggest issue right now as a team is that we just need to continue to apply rim pressure, apply, and then that gives teams a lot of that gets their star players in foul trouble. That's going to get Zubac, who dominated the glass tonight. Like, he had, like, double-digit rebounds. Killed us in the glass.
He plays so good against us.
He plays so good.
Yeah.
And he's such a good rebounder. Like, get him in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Dominate the board so that way Sabonis can get in there.
Yeah.
Keegan can get in there. Alex Len can get in there. There are things that this team can do that can get them to that next level and get them to a championship level. And it starts with being aggressive on the offensive forwards. Being aggressive in the paint, because that will allow you to basically allow the three to be open.
Yeah, I agree with everything RT said. And it takes a mature team to recognize when your 3-point shot isn't going in, you have to attack the paint. And the Clippers outscored us in the paint 54 to 36 points. So at the end of the day, we're a 3-point shooting team. We play fast. We run our sets through the fast break. We want to shoot as many 3-pointers as possible. But it takes a mature team to recognize, hey, our shot's not going in tonight. Let's have some big men post up. We have Sabonis, who's a very good post-up player. Trey Lyles has shown good in the post. DeMar DeRozan, obviously, has shown good in the post. Obviously, he's a mid-range player, but he can get to the post and get to the free throw line. I think a mature team recognizes that their 3-point shot isn't going in, and they make it a statement to get to the post, get to the free throw line, and get more points in the paint. To get outscored 54 to 36 in the paint for points in the paint, that's unexcusable. And I think if we want to grow as a team, we need to recognize, hey, our shots are going to go in every night. But when it doesn't go in, like nights like tonight, we need to get to the paint and get to the free throw line.
I think something that's extremely surprising is we were 3 for 26 from the 3-point line. Just imagine if we made three more threes tonight.
Oh, it'd be a
completely different game.
We win.
But,
for sure,
okay.
But we can't be relying on that.
I know.
We can't be relying on shots going in. Like, at the end of the day, we need to score the basket. So if our 3-point shots aren't going in, hey, let's change the game plan. Let's go at Zubac. Let's go at, whoever the 4 is. Coffee. If Coffee's guarding Keegan can post up Coffee, right?
I'm not drinking coffee for the rest of the year.
I'm not drinking coffee. Amir Coffee went to Temple before the game, obviously. He got the caffeine.
Forbidden Temple.
He went to do some Mo at Temple Coffee. He was caffeinated before the game. But at the end of the day, it takes a mature team to realize, hey, our jump shots aren't going in. Let's find the way to score in different ways, right?
You guys both were saying, like, get star players in foul trouble. That's exactly what James Harden did in the first quarter. I wrote this down because I was taking notes during the game because I was just baffled.
You were dialed in.
Harden, I literally wrote this down. Harden was a foul merchant in the first quarter. He got Fox and Keegan 2 fouls in the first quarter, which changes everything for your team.
That's Harden's game plan, though.
Luckily, it wasn't Sabonis, though, because
Yeah.
like when it's Sabonis, it changes. Like we're at such a loss when Sabonis is off the court, right? It was our star point guard, De'Aaron Fox, and Keegan Murray, who's also an elite defender. They were both 2 fouls in the first quarter. That instantly makes them play not as aggressive to start the game, right? I also wrote this down because, God, dude, the fouls were insane. Scott Foster was out to get Sacramento tonight. The Clippers were in the bonus with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Normally that happens in the fourth quarter. That was the first quarter.
Yeah, that's wild.
We were playing 5 versus 8 tonight. They got 11 free throw attempts in the first quarter, which is absurd. And Harden had 15 points in the first quarter. So Harden, and he only made 2 field goals in the whole first half, actually, first quarter.
Yeah.
But most of those are coming from the free throw because that guy just knows how.
Yeah. I agree with everything you're saying. But at the end of the day, we ended with 1 more free throw attempt to their 23. We had 24 free throws attempts. So we got calls our way as well. But we need to take advantage of a size advantage that we have amongst teams that, like the Clippers, who don't necessarily have a bigger size advantage than us, right? A lot of other teams are bigger than us. They're more athletic. The Clippers, they're size for size with us.
They're not the most physical.
Their 4,
they're not the
Zubac's
most
their
physical
5.
team.
We can match up with them size for size, so we should attack them in the paint.
They're not.
So
yeah.
as much as calls didn't go our way, at the end of the day, we need to attack them with our athleticism and our size, and we need to use that to our advantage.
I agree. I think the Clippers are not the most physical team, especially
Definitely
now
not.
that
Definitely
Kawhi, especially now that Kawhi's out.
Right.
Because like now that this is a team that's you can easily beat.
They're running Powell, Coffey, and Zubac as our front court.
Yeah,
That's
which
our
is
front court.
insane. And
We're bigger than that.
Yeah, and we're bigger. I also want to talk about Norman Powell because
Storm and Norman.
Yeah.
31 points.
Did
31.
you guys put on your raincoats tonight? Because there was a freaking storm in Sacramento
It's just-
tonight. There was.
No,
it was a
there was.
thunderstorm.
The way
was.
he walks, man, it's
insane.
incredible.
It's like I'm playing Cristo in 2K, and every time that he uses Norman Powell, he cooks me. And this is exactly what happened tonight. Norman Powell cooked the
Let
Kings.
us know in the comments if you want to see a 2K game.
I want to see a 2K.
If you want to see a little gameplay.
Can I give a backstory of what RT's talking about? For some reason, whenever we do 3 randoms in 2K, this was when Storm and Norman was on the Blazers, and I would always he would think I would use Damian Lillard, but no, I would use Storm and Norman and drop like 40 or 50 because he's such an underrated player, which we saw tonight. That guy absolutely killed us. He had 31 points,
5 for
dude.
9 from 3-point.
And he made those threes at the end of the quarter that were just humiliating. Like right when we were like, we cut it to 4 at the end. And then he makes a 3. And then freaking Amir Starbucks Temple makes a 3-pointer. And then we're down 10 again. So it's like...
And that piggybacks off what I was saying, right? So you don't anticipate Derrick Jones Jr. to go 4 for 5 from 3-point. I'm sorry, but you don't anticipate that to happen.
No,
He's not a 3-point
never.
shooter. But when you see that their team is making 3-point shots, you have to slow the game down. You have to get to the paint. You have to post up. Sabonis needs to be more aggressive. You need to get to the free throw line. You can't match their 3-point makes with our 3-point attempts when you know our shot's not going in. You just can't. You have to slow the game down. When Derrick Jones is going 4 for 5, James Harden 3 for 6, Norman Powell's 5 for 9, Amir Coffey's 2 for 6, you have to slow the game down at that point. You can't match their 3-point intensity when our shots aren't going in. You just can't.
You were saying something earlier about how we only had 1 more free throw attempt than the Clippers, which is mind-blowing. From just watching the game, Scott Foster's whistle was Clippers heavy.
Yeah,
Very Clippers
They
heavy.
were in the
So-
bonus a lot quicker than us.
But like in previous games that we won, we outscored the opponent with free throws by a landslide.
Yeah.
And that was part of the Demar Derozan effect. Back to the game, I mean, Demar just was non-existent that whole first half. We finally started getting to the free throw line at the end of the game, but at that point, it just... We didn't really necessarily need free throws at that point. We just needed better offense, like open shots.
I
Like
agree.
it was just that game. Kyle Draper, Mark Jones, they all say it.
yeah.
It literally looked like LA Fitness at 3 p.m.
was.
And we've all participated in a game where it's just like, I'm so glad there's no cameras on us because this just looks
Oh,
terrible.
my
And
God,
that's what the majority of the game looked like. There was no flow. The pace for the Kings was horrible. The foul whistle just eliminated any type of run that the Kings were on. It was just a terrible game. I'm really glad that I wasn't in the arena because
Oh yeah, we would
That
have.
would've-
Scott
No, that
Foster
would've
would have
been-
gotten tackled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
I
tackled.
was talking about mid game. Scott Foster would have gotten.
you
Yeah,
would
we
have
would've tackled them.
got
we would have done Oklahoma's on the
Oh, yeah.
court
Oh,
for sure.
You probably would have got a
Oklahoma?
li-
Ooh.
You would have got a
After that
lifelong
first quarter
ban.
call, yeah,
Dude,
for sure.
yes.
But at the end of the day, and we were bringing up Trey Lyles. We love Trey Lyles, but at the end of the day, you need your backup big to get rebounds. So Keegan Murray had 10 rebounds. Sabonis had 12. No one on the Kings had more than 3 rebounds.
I think what it
Right?
also, I mean,
That's
what it,
unacceptable.
Outside of Sabonis?
Yeah.
Outside of
And
Sabonis,
Keegan.
so Sabonis
Keegan
and
had
Keegan
10.
had 12 and 10. No one else had more than 3.
That's brutal.
That's terrible, right?
Man,
and
I-
we got out rebounded 48 to 35. So as much as we want to give Trey Lyles slack, and we love Trey Lyles, right? We love what he brings. We know
Have
what
a
he
Trey
can bring.
Lyles jersey.
At
Not
the
many
end of the
people
day,
have that.
right? At the end of the day, you are a backup big for our team. You need to get more than 3 rebounds, right? RT can go play 20 minutes and get more than 3 rebounds.
Yeah.
And
You
he
know
can
what I
make an open
and
shot.
I'm not even being biased.
I'm not being
you
biased
could get more
either.
than 3 rebounds. You
I
don't
agree.
even have to score. Just
I
get
agree.
5 rebounds.
yeah, I agree.
You need your backup big to get
Yeah.
more than 3
You said
rebounds.
RT not to score, but hey,
He can.
this is what I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah.
Kang Gang Pot. I don't know if you guys know this about Ryan Clark. This guy's an absolute bucket.
Yeah.
He could
His
get
post game's
rebounds.
insane.
He's literally the Sacramento Jokic.
Yeah.
And by Sacramento, I mean like at the local parks and
We'll
at
post
the rec
McKinley
center.
footage
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Also,
in the comments, just let us know if you want
Yeah,
to post
if you
McKinley
want to
footage.
see a king, if you want to see a king of the court between us 3 in a podcast, let us know in the
lifestyle
comments.
vlog, yeah.
Please, we would love
be
to
fun.
do like a vlog. That would be so much fun for us. I think I would cook these 2 for sure. So I would
about that.
I would cook these.
We
two,
played at
just saying.
McKinley.
These
We played
are-
at
just
McKinley.
saying.
We're on the same team, but
Those sound like fighting words, Ryan Clark. I'm
just-
calling you by your government name, Ryan
Yeah.
Clark.
Leave in the comments who you think would win in a game of 21.
Ramaticado.
Easy. Boys, okay.
Easy.
Let's just, we can't just be, we were extremely negative. I don't know how long we've been
As
recording.
we should be, but any Kings fan would be.
I mean,
right?
we've been
You
talking
hold the
a
team
lot
to
of
10
emotion.
107. You need to score more than that.
I just have one positive to say. Like, yeah, like I was saying, I don't know how long we've been recording, but we've been extremely negative that entire time, which is
Passionate.
fine.
Passionate.
You have to. We're passionate.
Passionate.
We have to. We have to talk from the heart. That's what the Kang Gang is about. We have
Yes,
to be.
That's what they want.
We're fans of the team. We're diehard for the team. But the fact that we lost by single digits and we only made 3 3-pointers and had tons of defensive mistakes, there's got to be like I texted you guys this before you guys came over. I said, just imagine if we were hitting our 3-pointers.
And
Christo,
that's the
no,
thing.
we all agree with you.
I know. I'm not
I
trying.
agree.
I'm not trying to like just say like that's the answer to everything
Right,
because I know
right.
it's not.
Right.
There's obviously a lot that needs to happen, but
It's encouraging.
It's
but at the end of the day,
encouraging, right?
Us as Kings fans have been through so much. The first thing we want to see is consistency. We've seen winning streaks. We've seen 3-game, 4-game, 5-game winning streaks. What we want to see is consistency, especially this year. Now that we've added DeRozan, now that we've seen our offense click, we want to see consistency, and we want to see us at the top of the West. That's what we expect.
And a lot of good teams, you look at the OKC Thunder, you look at like the Cleveland
They
Cavaliers.
bring it every
the
night.
Cleveland Cavaliers are 9 and 10 or
no, they're 10
10
and
and
0. They
0.
won tonight.
10 and 0.
Right.
You look at the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns are basically I know they
think
have
they're 8 and 1.
They're
They
8
won
and 1.
again. They won again
They
tonight.
won like 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah.
They find ways to win
Exactly,
games.
and I second that. So as good as the Kings have shown, great teams in this league bring it every night, Christo, right? And as much as we want to give the Kings the benefit of the doubt, yes, our team played good. Yes, we held them to under 110 points, which is good in today's NBA. But successful teams in the league bring it every single night, especially on home court. And that's the most
what I
disappointing
wanted-
thing.
That's what I wanted to
It
talk
wasn't
about.
a road loss. It was
Yeah.
a home court loss. And successful teams in the league win on their home court.
De'Aaron Fox was even talking about this in a post-game interview. He was like, we need our home court. Like, a true home court advantage is when you win on your court.
Yeah, especially it's a small market.
And like
that is what you hold your standard to.
And the fact that like we play very well on the road, and the fact that we lose just game after game at home, like as a fan, as a season ticket holder, like it's very sad when you go to a game and you don't know if you're going to win or lose, depending on like not even depending on who you're playing. Like you could be playing the best team or the worst team. You don't know if you're going to win.
Yeah,
in your home
that's
court.
unpredictable.
And that's what is upsetting. And I know I was saying that we were being negative, but just because I always try to find some type of positive, but you guys are right on this one.
Thank you.
You guys are right on this one. So
It's
guys,
because we care. It's
Yeah.
because we care.
I no trust
we
me.
expect more. We expect
No,
better.
that's
right?
that's
We're
good
not a
wording.
young team anymore. We have veterans that are all. I mean, Demar Derozan's obviously been in the league. He's in his mid-30s, but Sabonis and Fox, they've been in the league for a while.
They're in
right?
their primes.
They're pushing 30.
They are in
They've
their
been around the
primes.
league a while to know you need to protect your home court, right? We're not a young team. We're not 1-2 year players. Everyone on the team and Mike Brown knows you need to protect your home court, and we're not doing that right now.
Because think about this. If we were an extremely tough team to beat at home, and with the exact same way that we've been playing on the road for the past 3 seasons, how many wins would we have?
Like 55.
We'd be pushing
We'd be top 3 in
60,
the
which
West.
is insane to think about, but clearly that's not realistic because we haven't taken care of that. And
it's a shame too, because our fans have brought the passion this year. Our fans feel the energy, and as much as our defense has showed up, our offense just isn't there consistently. It's there some nights. We shoot great some nights, but we need all 5 starters to buy in. If we're not going to be a deep team, we're not going to play 12 guys. We have 3 guys come off the bench. We play 7 total, whatever. We need to have all 5 starters committed and at least shoot well, right? And if you're not shooting well from the 3-point line, get to the rim. Keegan Murray, you're 6'8", 7-foot wingspan. Get to the rim. If you're 0 for 6 from 3, get to the rim.
another thing I need to bring up before we move on to the previous game
We got to
was
talk about the
A lot of
positives.
emotion in this game.
no, there is no, and I'm not done talking about it because there's one thing that it does not sit well with me. Before the season started, we were talking about how excited we were about our bench, right? We were. We
Trey
can't-
Lyles, man. Trey Lyles.
Before we go in on all the Trey Bay fans, plug your ears before we talk about it. But Malik Monk cannot be the only guy on our bench that we could rely on. We need, because in the past years, our bench was deep. Look at Cleveland right now, 10-0. I was looking at their box score for tonight's game. They were scoring close to 35, 40 points just from their bench.
Yeah.
And that's consistent throughout the 10 games. Malik is the only guy right now that's given us some type of consistency off the bench, and
right.
we need someone else.
As
That's
good
all.
as Malik is, it shouldn't be reliant on him solely to be our entire bench scoring. He's not going to be great every night. He's going to have off nights, and that's when we need Trey, J-Mac, Keon to step up and carry our scoring, because we can't rely on Malik to score 20, 25 points every single night.
shot.
We just
No
can't.
shot. No shot.
As great as he is, we just can't rely
No
on
shot.
him.
And I know we're missing pieces. We're missing Devin Carter. We're missing Orlando Robinson. Those are 2 very solid pieces. Devin Carter is like our Davion Mitchell replacement, but with better
He's
offense.
a bigger loss than people think.
It
He's a
is.
bigger
It
loss
is.
than people think, for
Davion Mitchell, and we'll get into Toronto very shortly.
Very shortly.
It's so clear that when we don't have the bench depth, our team gets exposed. And I've talked about this earlier in previous episodes. Mike Brown is overutilizing the starters.
Yeah.
He is overutilizing because he understands we lack bench depth.
He's not. That just shows he's not confident in what our bench is producing.
Exactly.
Right. And it's not that our starters can't get the job done, but it shouldn't be relying on them to score 30 every single night. It shouldn't
on
be.
43
Especially
minutes.
on a back-to-back, you need at least 4 or 5 guys off the bench to help your team out.
Yeah,
you
and-
need to. And I understand keeping the rotations tight. I understand giving your starters confidence, but it shouldn't be relying on Sabonis because they do so much other than scoring to help our team. You need to have a deep team to win in this league.
I agree. I think giving Keegan 43 minutes in a game, insane. De'Aaron has had a couple games where he's had 40-plus minutes. I think it's, again, and I know that we are missing Orlando Robinson and Devin Carter and all the people I talked about, but there has to be urgency. I didn't see Doug McDermott get minutes tonight.
I was gonna bring that up
you said
too.
urgency, and I know you want to bring up Doug McDermott, but there was just absolute no urgency. It felt like there was no urgency the entire game.
There
And
wasn't.
I don't
There
know
wasn't.
what the boys did on a Thursday night leading up to today.
There wasn't.
But there was something in the water, and they all drank it, and they did not perform. I mean, stat-wise, like Fox 31, Sabonis 23 and 12, Keegan shy of a double-double with 7 points, 10 rebounds, Monk off the bench 17, and DeRozan ending the streak with 13 points.
Yeah.
Those are the only guys I wrote down because no one else in the entire game, and we have a 12, 13-man roster, and no one else is producing. So
And
it's
not to harp on Mike Brown, but at the end of the day, you need to recognize, hey, the guys that I have out there aren't scoring. They're guarding. They're doing well, but we need someone to go out there and get buckets. Let's throw a Doug McDermott out there. Let's throw J-Mac out there. J-Mac didn't have any minutes tonight. Let's throw somebody out there that can get buckets who isn't one of our starters. Obviously, our starter shots aren't going in. As a head coach, I think that's the call you have to make, right?
I think we
I
only
agree.
played eight players tonight because
Right.
the only people off the bench were Malik, Keon, and Alex Len.
I think that's
Trey.
when-
Nine.
I think that's when,
Not-
as a head coach, you give someone on your bench a shot to make a spark, to give your team a spark. I think that's what you do.
I agree.
Boys, I'm done talking about this Clippers game.
Can we talk about the positives?
Let's talk about the positives.
Let's
Are you
talk
guys
about the
ready to change
positives.
the mood a little bit? Oh no.
Talk about the Hawks.
Let's talk about. We already talked about. Let's talk about the Heat. All right, we're backtracking 2 days ago when the Kings hosted the Toronto Raptors at home. Revenge game, because we all know what happened at their home. Vince Carter night.
What kind of shirt was Vivek wearing?
You want to jump into that right now?
I'm just wondering, like, before we get into it, because Vivek, obviously the players saw
I'm
that.
standing up for this. I'm
The
standing
player,
up
the
for this.
players
This is
saw
a big
Vivek,
deal.
right?
This was
Let's
a
go.
very big deal. The Sacramento Kings owner, Vivek Ranadive. We all love you on the Kang Gang pod. Sacramento loves you. You are for the culture. It's incredible for a fan to see how much you support your team, not just because you sit courtside every single night and you're always standing up whenever something great happens. The fact that you stand up for your star player, Demar Derozan, up to one of the biggest musical artists in the world, Drake, by wearing They Not Like Us in a black t-shirt on our floor.
Yeah.
Couple nights after we lose a very sad game against Toronto on their court, you show up and you bring so much energy. You went extremely viral. Everyone saw it. The team...
We're grateful.
The team fed off his energy, and we got the job done.
Vivek is a great owner, man.
He is. No,
Vivek
he really
is.
is.
An awesome
Yeah.
owner.
Oh my
and
God.
you know the players see that when they're on the court.
That's what
they
I'm
see
saying.
that. He's courtside, front and center, and they feed off that energy. We're so grateful for
He's
Vivek
extremely
Ranadive.
friendly with the players.
Not only for
and-
saving the team, but giving us this energy to win games.
Just
He's a great
phenomenal.
owner, man.
Just phenomenal work.
Shout out
Phenomenal
Nani
work.
too.
Yeah,
Nani's
so
always there, right by his hip, every single game.
We won the game 122-107. Before the game even started, I was very hopeful. I texted you boys in the chat, and I said, we're winning by, did I say 22? What did I say? I said we're going
You
to
said
win
by
by
double
yeah,
digits.
You were guaranteed to win.
I think I said we're going to win by over 20.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact number, but we won by 15, which
Yeah.
I was close. So let's just dive in. I wrote everything down. This was Davion Mitchell's homecoming game. He had a great game defensively and offensively in the game in Toronto, but it's different when you're playing in the arena that you're used to. 3 years playing there, like Davion knew he had to bring it, and he had the starting position again because Emmanuel quickly was out. And the other thing, I'm gonna say this guy's name, and I want to hear your. I'm gonna say his name. Tell me what you have to say right after. Not just Davion Mitchell had a great game.
I know it's coming.
I'm not gonna say RJ Barrett because that's obvious.
I know it's coming.
Chris Boucher.
I knew you were gonna say that. Listen. Chris Boucher.
Oregon Ducks. Quack, quack.
Ooh.
What is with Chris Boucher playing in Sacramento
Man,
Kings?
Quack,
I
quack.
don't know. I actually did not know that he went to Oregon. That's
You know what's
a good
crazy?
stat.
Before the game before playing the
You're
Kings,
the college basketball guy. So.
I know. I got to get my
Hey, it's a
stuff
little
up.
knowledge. Yeah.
Little knowledge.
this guy could not miss from three. He only had 2 points the game prior to the Kings. Then he comes in here and he drops 17 on us.
Yeah.
And he makes a bunch of 3-pointers. And it was very reminiscent of the previous game in Toronto. It looked like Toronto had all the momentum. They were playing fast. Those young players that they have in Toronto, my God, they play so aggressive and they play so good and they shoot well. I'm just like,
They do.
yeah, but
He has something against the Kings for sure. But it
Yeah.
looked like this game we were ready for them this time.
no. I think
right?
we knew we were going to win going in, but it didn't look like it the entire first half.
No.
Toronto was outworking us the entire first half.
They were.
and it was not an easy game.
Yeah.
And
And,
even
that fourth quarter started and it became the DeMar DeRozan show.
Yep.
And the De'Aaron Fox show.
Yep.
And that's what you want to see.
And the defense showed up in the fourth quarter. That's what mattered. I mean, we outscored the Toronto Raptors 33-14 in the fourth quarter, and that's when we took it over. We were down 4 by going into that fourth quarter, and then we were just dominated by there. I think that fourth quarter really showed, from what I saw, we looked very good defensively, and obviously it carried over into Friday, and it didn't really translate to win. But back to Wednesday. But I think our defense really showed in that fourth quarter, and especially in the second half. We were forcing turnovers. We were forcing the ball. We were basically blitzing RJ Barrett. We were blitzing all of these point guards. We blitzed Davion Mitchell, and he made tough decisions that turned into our favor, that turned into turnovers. I think when we are able to play at a level where we are very intensely playing defense, I think we have a chance to very much be winning games and dominating the way that we should. Yeah. That's how you take care. And again, we talk about good teams in the league. That's how you take care of good teams in the league. Good teams beat up on the bad teams.
Yeah, and it's also, you're not going to necessarily play teams that have the same amount of talent as you, right? But you need to match their energy. And when the Toronto Raptors came to our court, we matched their energy. When we went over there, we didn't necessarily match their energy. They had the Vince Carter night. They had Davion Mitchell coming back. They had a lot more momentum than us. They had a lot more hype than us. When they came to our court, we matched their energy, and we took over in that fourth, and that's what turned the game.
The thing I like about Toronto is because all those guys on the court, they play like they're working for a 10-day contract.
Yeah.
Like they're playing like their life depends on it. And that's what veteran teams, I'm not saying we're a veteran team as of right now, but we have veterans on our team that could like push that.
Their coach does a great job.
Oh, their young
coaching
players,
staff does an amazing job to get their players to buy it.
Their young players are so good. Like Jonathan Mogbo, shout out USF.
Yeah.
He's so good.
But at the end of the day, it takes a coaching staff to get those young players to buy in. You can have all the young talent in the world, but I'm drawing a blank on the Raptors head coach name.
Oh, Darko Rakovic, right?
Rakovic, yeah.
He does a great job on getting every single player, 1 through 15, to buy in on that team. And I feel like that's just been the Raptors' agenda.
I mean,
ever since Nick Nurse was the coach.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the previous episode, but this is a team we're going to be looking out for in 2 to 3 years in this playoff hunt, because that team, if they develop well, that team is going to be a very, very good playoff contender, especially in the East. We'll talk about the East in a future episode, but I think one of the things that makes that Toronto Raptors team so good is that they're so young, but they play competitive, they play physical at such a young age.
Yeah.
Imagine when they are all in their prime. That's scary.
Grady Dick is taking a big jump this year. Most improved player, sleeper this year, for sure.
What I love so much about how we played in that Toronto game is that we matched the energy finally. Like they were beating us down the whole first 3 quarters, really. And then fourth quarter, like you said, we outscored them by over 20. Demar Derozan went off. It looked like we knew our game plan in that fourth quarter was get the ball to Demar. He's got the hot hand. I can't even count on my hand how many and ones he had in the entire game, but in that fourth quarter, he was making everything. And like that's what I feel like in the Clippers game, we didn't really have a game plan in that fourth quarter. We didn't know if we're going to go with Fox. We didn't know if we're going to go with Derozan. I don't know if we're going to go with Sabonis. We didn't have a set game plan of like how we're like what's working, because nothing in that entire Clippers game was working. In the Toronto game, we saw something that worked, and it took 3 quarters to figure it out, and then DeRozan took us home at the end of the day.
Yeah, you could tell that second time we faced them that we watched film on the first game and fixed the mistakes that, we watched back on. I mean, we all know Mike Brown's a stickler with film. So we know after that first loss in Toronto, that's all they watched on the plane ride home. So you could tell that they fixed a lot of mistakes that they worked on that first game. And we took it personal. And that's how we should take every game. We shouldn't have to face a team, lose to them, and realize that second game that we need to work on it. We should go into every game personal, right? Taking it personal.
I like that you said that, because I think when we lose to teams that should not be winning games, just in general, not just against us, but just in general, like Toronto, we should be taking that, like, we let this team beat us. Like, that should be humiliating to them, you know? And I think DeMar DeRozan and veterans on the team, they should, like, push that energy to the team so they know.
But we're a veteran team now, so we shouldn't necessarily have to lose to a team to learn from that. We should learn from that and move on to the next team, no matter if we play them again or not, right? Yeah. We have older players now. Fox and Sabonis are both pushing 30. They've been in the league for, 8, 9 years, whatever, 7 years. DeMar DeRozan's been in the league 15 years. We need to have players, and we need to be a veteran team and have a veteran mindset if we want to compete in this league.
I agree.
It wouldn't be right if I didn't mention this unbelievable historical stat that happened in that Toronto game.
Oh, yes. Please explain it.
Domantas Sabonis. My God,
We are not worthy.
Please be a king for life.
Not worthy.
Sabonis, let me phrase it this way. Domantas Sabonis had a perfect game. You might be thinking, a perfect game? What does that mean?
It's not in baseball.
This man, he had a triple-double. He had 17 points.
How many turnovers?
Hold on. 17 points, 11 rebounds.
Gotcha.
13 assists.
Amazing.
That's a lot of us. Say it.
He had to have at least one turnover, right?
You'd think so, right? Like with 13 assists, one, right? With passing the ball as much as he is.
With that stat line, how many turnovers?
0.
Wow.
Wait. He scored 17 points. He had to have missed, right?
Right. Or at least turned the ball for once.
He must have
had a drop ball or something.
No. He made every single field goal attempt. Wait, but he must have gotten fouled, right? And he must have he's not the best free throw shooter, but he must have missed.
Right, at least one.
No! He didn't miss from the free throw line either. This man made NBA history, becoming the first player to ever record a perfect triple-double without a missed shot, a missed free throw attempt, and no turnovers. I think
That's amazing.
I think we're starting to get so accustomed to Sabonis just breaking unseen records. But I think right now we just need to give this guy his flowers. Dude,
Hall,
Sabonis.
send him to the Hall.
As a core Kings fan,
he's already
send him to the Hall. Send
he
him to the Hall.
cemented himself
Send him
Hall
to
of
the
Fame.
Hall.
As a core
Send him to the
Kings
Hall.
fan, we're so grateful because we've seen the Rashawn Holmes, Marvin Bagley front courts, the Dwayne Dedman, Marvin Bagley front courts, the Samuel Dalembert, Andres Nociano front courts.
Keep
we
going.
have
No,
seen
there's more. Keep going.
Marcus Cousins and Jason Thompson front courts, as good as Boogie was. We have seen so many non-dominant big men that also facilitate for their team that we're not used to seeing a stat line like that. And we're so grateful for it. But we shouldn't be reliant, as good as he was that game, it shouldn't be on Sabonis' shoulders to win a game every single night.
No,
it shouldn't
honestly,
be.
no.
As good as that stat line was, and we're so grateful because us Kings fans, like I was just saying, aren't used to our front court being that dominant or a player in our front court being that dominant. We need to help him out. Because he has been our MVP thus far. By far.
Another thing is, in that Toronto game, it didn't look like...
It's effortless.
It's effortless. Like you're
effortless.
saying, we shouldn't be reliant on that. It didn't feel like we were. It feels like that's just how he plays the game.
Right.
He plays the game in such a smooth way where he looks for a shot when it's appropriate. He looks to pass when people are open.
Right.
He does the right things at the right time. And
And a perfect example is the previous game in Miami when he literally got socked in the face in the first quarter by Bam Adebayo.
Multiple
had
times.
to go in the locker room to get stitches. Comes back, battles through the next 3 quarters, and then scores the game winner.
You are
He just
jumping
plays
ahead.
hard.
You're jumping
No,
ahead.
but I'm just saying that is what our team should feed off of. That's what our team should feed off of.
I agree.
Right? And it sucks, and I'm very passionate because it should lead to wins. It should fuel every single person on your roster, and we should win these games like we should have against the Clippers tonight.
it did not feel the boys against the
didn't.
Clippers tonight. And that's just...
And that's why I'm
That's
so
okay.
passionate.
That's okay.
No,
He didn't feel it on Wednesday.
Be passionate. Be passionate.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
why I'm
just
so
thought it
emotional
was,
right now.
It was just incredible to see that. Sabonis was just...
Yeah, we're grateful.
Yeah, he is...
God bless
unbelievable.
Sabonis.
And his wine.
So other stats that were incredible in that Toronto game, DeRozan had 11 points in the fourth quarter. That guy was... I don't know his field goals. I didn't write it down, but I don't think he missed. He was unbelievable. He finished with 27 points. Keegan had his fourth double-double of the season with 22 points, 12 rebounds. RT, can you tell me how many double-doubles Keegan's had in his entire seasons prior to this?
Oh my gosh. I think he had not the same that he had today.
Yeah, like less than 15, right?
It's
12?
Eight.
And he's already halfway. He's already halfway there. So, RT made a prediction in the previous episode. He thinks that Keegan Murray is going to have 25 to 30 double doubles this season. I really hope it stands because if it does, it's going to result to wins.
Yeah, and also views.
Keegan's been the silver lining to this season. Right.
No, yeah,
Keegan has been a bright
step up.
spot. As
Step
bad as he
up.
played against the Clippers tonight, shooting-wise, he has shown to guard the best defensive player or the best offensive player on the opposing team, and his rebounding has been tenacious. And we know his offense is there. We know his shooting is lights out. As long as he brings his rebounding and defense every night, we're going to have a chance to win a lot of games. And that's what the silver lining has been this whole season.
I think another thing about Keegan Murray is Kings fans have so much expectation for him to take that leap. They keep saying it I can't wait to see what he does. What he does this year, what he improves on. It was the 3-point shooting year 1. It was the defense year 2. Year 3 so far, it's the rebounding.
I
And
like
defense.
that.
His
I like
defense
that.
took a step
I
up.
like that.
As
Defense
good
is
as it's
still
been.
getting better.
Year
And
2, yeah.
Once you put all those 3 together, when he's shooting lights out, he's defending defending the opposing team's best player, and he's getting double in rebounds. This man is going to accomplish a lot in his young career, and I can't wait to see.
We hope he's a king for life. He has the
King for
mindset.
life.
He has the talent. We love Keegan Murray.
We love Keegan Murray.
Yes, we do.
Okay, back to the stats. Fox had 21 points against Toronto. Alex Len, do you guys happen to know how many blocks he had?
3.
4.
Oh,
You were going to say 4, right?
I was going to say
know what?
4.
Averaging almost 2 a game.
Because his mind, what did you say in previous episodes? His mind is
Chat
a chat
GPT.
GPT of
Yep,
Sacramento
Chat
Kings.
GPT.
King's
knowledge.
GPT. King's
Chat
Muse is in his
GPTs.
mind. King's Muse.
Malik Monk had 13 points, but he played extremely sloppy. That's what you expect out of Malik Monk. Bringing energy,
As a
but
6-man, it's going to happen.
you can't have a great game every night. And then Keon Ellis, 8 points, 2 steals, and the only thing I wanted to write down for Toronto was off night. We love Davion. I have his jersey hung up, signed in a frame right there. We love Davion Mitchell. We love what he did for Sacramento. And it looks like Toronto embraces him. They love him. The coach loves him. Teammates love him.
He's never started more in his career than what he's doing right now with the Quickly's injury.
I love seeing him have a successful start of the season. Like, it makes me so happy because, like, Davion, he deserved it, and, like, he works so hard. Like, that's what everyone on the Kings say. Like, when you think of Davion Mitchell, he works so hard, and to see it paying off for a team like Toronto, it just makes me very, very happy to see.
Yeah, he's a perfect
thrive.
fit for that culture too. It's a team, like we were saying, that plays hard, that plays with effort, and watching Davion on the Kings, that's all he does is bring effort on the defensive end. Even if his shot's not going in, he's bringing on the defensive end, and that's what the Raptors coach and the coaching staff looks for.
As an NBA coach, you want a player like Davion on your
100%.
team. He finished with 20 points and 6 assists.
Wow.
We got the win. It was a great win. Vivek, thank you so much for bringing that energy. We needed it. We got the win 2 days prior. So now we're backtracking to Monday against Miami.
Oh, baby.
I don't even want to say the score because I want to talk about what led to the score. Miami versus Sacramento in Miami. Think about this. We fly from Toronto to Miami to play this game. First half, Miami was lights out. They made 11 three-pointers in the first half. Fast forward to today's game, we had 3. So think about that. 33 points coming from the three-point line for Miami. They were lights out. The Heat ended the first half on a 13-1 run. It was a close game, even with the three-pointers, but then that 13-1 run absolutely killed all momentum. It looked like we were a lost team at that point. And then there were reports. There were people talking about it during the broadcast that there was a lot of intensity, a lot of tough conversations, a lot of motivation that happened in that locker room. And let me tell you, the boys responded. What do you think happened in that locker room to really get the boys to change their mindset and just absolutely destroy Miami in that third quarter?
So that was a tough first half, right?
Yeah.
Miami looked like they were the team that came to play, and I think we were down by 12,
we were
right,
down
at the
12,
first half.
13, yeah.
And it just looked like the effort wasn't there, right? Even if our shots aren't going in, right? Your shots aren't, it's a make or miss league, like our T always says on the pods. You need to bring it on the defensive end, and we weren't doing that. We ended that second quarter into halftime really sloppy. We had a turnover, and they had an and one, I believe. And I think in the locker room, everyone, from what they said in the post-game conferences and everything, they just held each other accountable. And it showed in that second half. And I think that shows growth as a veteran team to be like, hey, we've all been in the league at least 7 to 10 years, 15 years if you're DeMar DeRozan. We need to bring it right now. And the Kings historically haven't played well in Miami. These are games, if you have a slow start, if you have a slow start in the first half and the game is still within reach, bring it that second half. And I think that's what they told each other in the locker room, rightfully so. And it showed.
I agree. I think what really mattered was they locked down in the second half. They were playing outstanding defense. And again, we talked about this earlier. I think this team is 12th in defensive rating going into tonight's game. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And on top of that, 4th in offensive rating.
Do you happen to remember what our defensive rating was when we were a successful team when we made the playoffs?
I think we were like 21st or something like that.
No, I think we were higher. I think we were like 26, 27. Like we were
like
way up there. So we're making improvements defensively. Our offense is taking a step back, but we're figuring it out. Let's talk about that third quarter. We came out like defensive monsters out there with Fox and Keon Ellis leading the charge. They were getting deflections, steals, pushing the pace. They set the tone for that third quarter, and that is what I think really led that comeback. We went on a 17-4 run to end the quarter. Miami did not score for 4.5 minutes to end that quarter. We kept them in a drought. Fox scored 16 points in that third quarter. Fox was having like an off shooting night in the beginning, and he really turned it around. Fox was 16, and a bunch of defensive, incredible possessions between him and Keon. Not just them two, but those were the two that really stuck out watching the game. Like it started with them, and the team followed. It was incredible to see. And then we outscored them. I think we outscored them by 20 points in the third quarter. So we were down 12, so that means we had an 8-point lead going into the fourth.
Yeah.
Talk about that third quarter, because that was something special. Because like in previous years, third quarter used to be our killer. Like I remember we would go down 20 in the third quarter, but this time we did the And it's been the theme the whole season. Our third quarter has been relatively very, very good.
Right.
And yeah, talk about that third quarter.
I think it was clear in that third quarter that something happened in the locker room, right? And it didn't come out until after the game that, there was a conversation in the locker room where there were some heated moments, but it was clear that third quarter that our team came out with a different sense of aggressiveness. Fox came out with a different sense of aggressiveness going against his old college teammate, Bam Adebayo. He was going to the lane aggressively. DeMar DeRozan took it personal. So you could just tell there was a different mindset within the team coming out in that third quarter, and obviously it showed, right? We were able to close that gap within their lead with the Miami Heat, and yeah, it's funny after the game when it all comes out about what happened in the locker room, you can kind of just like you can tell that that's exactly what happened, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think everything that Johnny said was completely accurate. Like I said, the defense really, really showed out in that third quarter. Like we had a 4-minute drought, like you mentioned earlier, and I think that what really helps is playing team defense. We were forcing turnovers the entire second half. It was like a switch that happened. We were just basically taking over that second half. We were basically just like, listen, we're not having the best record in Miami. I think we've only won like 3 games before that. One of them
in like a 20-year span, I think.
In a 20-year span.
And
the most recent one was that De'Aaron Fox putback dunk game winner that he had when he was a rookie. So like, one, you don't have the best track record there. You want to prove to everybody in the league, like, listen, we don't care about what the hell happened 5 years ago.
Right.
We don't care what the hell happened in our all-time record. You go out there and play the game, and that's exactly what happened.
And I think our growth as a team, as a mature team, is understanding who the hot hand is. And I think in that third to fourth quarter, we understood, hey, this is Fox's night. Even though DeRozan took over in the fourth, in that third quarter, it was the Fox show. It was their De'Aaron Fox
16 points in the third quarter is unbelievable.
But as a mature team, it takes a mature team to realize, hey, this is Fox's quarter, or this is Fox's night, or this is his second half. And I think at the halftime, the halftime meeting in the locker room, it was like, hey, they looked at the star players and they held them accountable and said, hey, Fox, you need to step up, because that's what they all said in the postgame interviews, is they all held each other accountable. Fox didn't have the best first half. They probably talked to him. Malik probably talked to him, one of his good friends, and said, hey, you need to step up and be the leader of this team, and that's exactly what he did in that third quarter.
My theory is that it was Keegan Murray that stepped up to the podium, and he let the boys hear it.
When Keegan talks, you listen.
Imagine Keegan Murray saying, "Hey guys, I think we really need to step it up in the second half."
The whole locker room's just silent,
and they're like, I've never seen Keegan with this much emotion.
I think
so much aura.
I think if Keegan yells at his teammates, that just is like a sign that you just stop and you just listen.
Okay,
when Keegan talks at all, you just listen.
Something funny.
When he gets pissed off, like you can just tell, like, oh, this guy is serious.
Watch this. I'll be De'Aaron. You be DeRozan. I want you to be Keegan Murray. We're in the locker room. Tell it.
Okay.
Do it.
All right, listen. We're not playing our 100% at all. De'Aaron, you are our team leader. Step up. Please.
He's right, De'Aaron.
Step up.
I'm 35. I need you,
we need you.
You're 28.
We need you.
Thank you,
need
Keegan.
you.
No, I really appreciate you saying that to me, Keegan. No, I will step up in the third quarter.
Show it to me.
Hey, Tyler Hero can't guard you. He can't. Terry Rozier can't guard you.
Debo, I appreciate that.
You got to have more than 5 points.
Thank you, Debo.
Ball out.
I will.
They not like us.
They're really not.
Yes.
That was a great Keegan Murray impression.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Give me some.
Thank you.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
Thank you, Keegan.
I try.
Fourth quarter.
Animals.
Okay, to end the third quarter, Miami Heat only scored 17 points. Fox almost outscored them with 16. That's pretty incredible. Fourth quarter, the refs were just out to get De'Aaron. I don't know if you remember. There were so many. They did not want us to win. Sort of like tonight. And then let's just fast forward to the last minute of the game. I think we were down 5 or 6. I think we were down 6
before DeRozan's 4-point play.
Yeah, so we're down 6, and then DeRozan walks into a 3-pointer, gets clipped by Tyler Hero, and just
to have the confidence to shoot that shot.
That's what I'm saying. It's insane.
Huge.
Like, we've never had a player
for him not being a 3-point shooter. That's huge. To draw the foul as well and to make it.
And he makes the free throw, of course. And we're down 2. We get the stop.
That wins the game. That play wins the game.
And that won the game. And then obviously Miami was not the best free throw team that night. We got a lot of good stuff. Like Jimmy Butler missed like a free throw to put them down by 1. And then Cristo, tell us what happened at the end.
De'Aaron Fox was listening to Keegan Murray in the halftime speech, and he's like, I need to win this for Keegan. Dribbling left hand. He has the rookie. I don't even remember his name. The rookie on Miami was guarding him. He's like, barbecue.
Not where? No, because he's in somewhere else.
Barbecue chicken alert is what De'Aaron said in his mind. Dribbles left, spins around, gets a wide open look. Jimmy pops out of nowhere, plays great contested defense. He still has a beautiful shot. An inch too far on the shot, back rims it, and the man that RT's wearing on his jersey tonight, he boxes out Bam
I think his name is
Domantas Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis. Say what? Domantas Sabonis.
Shout out Tiger. Shout out Tiger. Tiggy.
Tiggy. I thought you were talking about Kevin Herter's bar.
Not Kevin Herter's booth. Not Kevin Herter's booth.
I thought you were talking about his booth.
Shout out Tiggy. Shout out Tiggy. Anyway,
he boxes out Bam Adebayo.
Yes.
Gets the rebound.
After getting hit in the face.
Multiple times in the whole entire game.
Multiple times.
Grabs the rebound. Brings it down. Lefty. Beautiful push shot. Reminded me of Rashawn Holmes with the left hand. Sinks in.
Play the clip.
With 0.7 seconds. And Domantas Sabonis wins us the game.
How fitting.
Dude.
How fitting is it?
I lost my mind. I think my neighbors were upset with the noise level. The decibels that
He got a noise complaint ticket.
The decibels that were coming out of the Kang Gang Pod studio room were... I'm going to get an email from my landlord, I'm sure, in the next few days.
Everyone in Carmichael heard Christo's reaction after that shot.
I lost my shit. Domantas Sabonis, I love you. Domantas Sabonis, thank you so much for bringing so much joy to Sacramento.
But I think your reaction and everyone's reaction watching that game relates to a lot of Kings fans, knowing that, hey, we have a player that gets beaten to the ground all 3 to 4 quarters and has the audacity to push himself to get an offensive rebound and win the game for us. No matter how many hits he gets all game, can do that for us.
Can I say something?
I think that's a worthy reaction, Christo.
Stand up.
Can I say something?
Stand up. It sounds like it's going to be important.
All right.
Wait, let him see the last name. Let him see the last name. Just so they know. Just so they know. Yep. You know who it is.
And he has the original, the number 10.
You know who it is.
He's been a Sabonis fan since he got drafted.
Since the trade. Since they said we lost the trade.
Yeah. Since he got drafted by the Orlando Magic and then got traded.
Since he got traded for Jeremy Lin.
Listen.
Hey, don't talk to us. Talk to the camera. I feel like what you're about to say is going to be groundbreaking.
It's our tease time.
Domantas Sabonis is the most valuable player on our Kings roster. Easily.
What was your prediction for him for the year?
Lead the league in triple doubles.
Okay.
Because he's able to do that.
That's facts.
He's able to do that. I mean, I think he is right now. He's tied with Jokic. Jokic is in Denver just stat padding. What Domantas Sabonis is doing is getting triple doubles and winning games.
If he's not an all-star this year, and I know the season is short, but if he's not an all-star this year just through whatever, the 9-10 games that we played, that's criminal.
This podcast episode, we're going to have a live reaction.
I think this is the most emotion that we've given into an episode.
No, I agree. Yeah, the
By
energy's
far,
been extremely high. The neighbors, I'm so sorry. I'll give you cookies tomorrow morning.
It's a Friday
they should
night.
know. They should know.
Everyone in Carmichael should have been watching the game.
They should know. They should
have known.
But boys, we started the week win versus Miami. The final score, by the way, was 111-110. We stole a game in Miami.
Yeah. This season's not lost. No matter if we lost the Clippers or not, this is a not lost season.
No, it's not. So let's break it down.
Let's do it.
Monday, we get the win. Wednesday, we fly back to Sacramento. We play Toronto. Get the win.
Dub.
Friday, tonight.
Scott Foster.
Great defense, though.
We played
defense.
pretty solid on defense.
Terrible offense.
offense. But this is the silver lining that I see whenever we play as bad as we did. We never play that bad twice in a row, except last year when it was against the Houston Rockets. That
back-to-back with Houston.
That back-to-back with Houston was
yeah.
Nasty behavior.
I'm glad we didn't.
I never
want to
have a back-to-back to Houston in my life.
If we were recording then, the equipment would have been broken. Like I don't think we would have lasted the full episode.
I wouldn't be here.
So I'm really glad. I'm very glad.
I'd be at Forest Hill Bridge. I'd be at the bottom of the Folsom Lake. Anyway, continue.
That's crazy. So Friday night, we played the Clippers, which was today.
Yep.
Scott Foster had other plans. Kings didn't know how to make a three-pointer. We lose. We go 2-1 for the week. We run it back on Sunday against a very hot Phoenix team. Let's preview it really quick. I think they're on a 6-game winning streak right now. I think historically we played very good against Phoenix. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think we match up pretty well with them. I think Sabonis will own the matchup against Nurkic. I think Fox, Keegan, DeRozan, they're all going to step up. I think even Kevin Huerter is going to make a couple shots. I think it's going to be a great all-around game. And my predictions, I think Fox will have around 23 points. I think Keegan Murray will have a double-double. I think DeRozan will be in the 20-point range again. And I think Domantas Sabonis will own Yusuf Nurkic on the glass, and he'll have close to a triple-double against Phoenix. RT, I know you are the mastermind of predictions.
Yes.
Tell me what you see in Phoenix, first of all, like what they're doing, because it's pretty remarkable, and then tell me what your predictions for the game
I
is.
have a very hot take about Phoenix.
Let's hear it.
I think Phoenix is overrated. A lot of what has happened in the last couple games, their point differential is 4 points. If a lot of their games that they've won have been close games. Every single game they've played in is a close game.
Including tonight against Dallas? 1 point?
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, 1 point. It was a 1 point game. So I think the key to Sunday is you have to get a lead early. You cannot let Phoenix basically get to the lead early, because I don't think Phoenix has ever learned how to play with a lead that early. Dominate early, take care of the glass. I think, like I said, get your star players in foul trouble. Get Devin Booker to force tough shots. Get Kevin Durant to force tough shots. I think Tyus Jones, he's a very good passer. And I think that offense has...
Frustrate him. De'Aaron needs to get up in him.
Blitz him.
I agree with RT. Dominate early. I think this is going to be a big scoring night for Sabonis. I think he's shown in the past that he dominates Nurkic. Nurkic isn't the best defensive big. But I agree with everything RT said. I think we dominate early, get a nice little 10-point lead going into half, and we close it out.
Just build up.
Are we getting the win?
Of course we're getting the win.
Are we getting the win?
Of course.
Okay, so our next...
Off a loss, we're getting the win. We're watching film on tonight, and we're getting the win.
I think we're getting the win in Phoenix, and then our next recording will be the day after the San Antonio game. So let's preview San Antonio. We're playing Harrison Barnes in San Antonio, so it's going to be a second night of a back-to-back.
HB revenge game.
They play on Monday. We're going to record right after the San Antonio game.
But also DeMar DeRozan, former Spurs.
Yeah. So there's a lot,
revenge game for DeMar as well. So.
There's a lot of storylines in that San Antonio game, but it is a second night of a back-to-back, traveling to a new city in San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama, he's been playing fairly well for the most part. I mean, obviously everyone's expectations, especially Yahoo Fantasy and ESPN Fantasy, they think he's the greatest player to ever grace a basketball court.
Which is wild.
So let's preview that game. What are your predictions for San Antonio?
So Wembanyama is obviously an alien, right? He's a player that you have to watch film on and double team and be there for. But the Spurs are a lot like Toronto. They're a young team that plays hard. Obviously, they have veterans like CP3 and HB, but at the end of the day, they have every single player on the roster plays hard. They defend. They go for loose balls. They're well coached. It's going to be similar to the Toronto game, to the time that we went to Toronto and had to or tried to squeeze out the win there. So we're going to have to bring it. We're going to have to bring it defensively and make our shots. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to bring effort because they're a young team that's scrappy, just like the Raptors.
And if we do that, a lot of us will get our prediction, which is 7-4.
Yeah, and I think DeRozan's going to be very comfortable. Right, I think he's going to be comfortable playing against a team, against a system that he's familiar with, and I think he's going to be a player of the game that game.
I think it's going to be a great battle between Kings and San Antonio. We always have tough battles when we play San Antonio. I think Devin Vassell might be coming back that game. I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear some rumblings that he is ramping up his intensity, and I think he is going to make a comeback. So that is another crucial piece to their puzzle. And yeah. Another thing about San Antonio, Greg Popovich, he's out right now with just health reasons, and we just wish Greg Popovich a speedy recovery.
Legend.
He's one of the greatest coach. He's the greatest coach to ever coach a basketball team. We've ever seen.
I agree.
We just hope and we pray for him, and we hope that he's just getting healthier and healthier. And I hope that NBA fans across the world, we all want to see him get better, and we want to see him back on the court, and that's what we want to see.
I agree.
For sure.
So with that being said, we're really hoping for back-to-back wins with Phoenix and San Antonio. It's going to be a great test to our team. That was our week review of what happened this week. Woo! And a lot more episodes to come.
A lot. And
Tough loss against the Clippers, but let's keep it moving.
We'll bounce back.
Yes.
We'll keep it
Also,
moving.
before we take off, if you made it to the end of the video, please give us a thumbs up, like our video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. We really appreciate the support that we've been getting. I know we say this every episode, but we do really, really appreciate the support.
We really do. It's really it's crazy to think that we started this journey together. We're only, I think today, what day is it today?
Today's our 8th episode.
The 8th episode.
We started this late September.
We started this
early October.
September, but
yeah, so I think
middle
we
take away your vacation.
Yeah,
it's only been about a month.
It's only been a month of uploading, and it's crazy to see our growth at a brand new YouTube channel. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. It's exciting. We love doing it.
Whether you're a new Kings fan or an old Kings fan, we try to give, we try to relate to any whatever era you're rooting for, right? So we'll post old Kings content. We'll remember old Kings players. But at the end of the day, we want to be authentic to the Kings community. And I hope that through the shorts that we post, through the videos that we post, that we show that. So we appreciate any comments, any likes that we get on the video. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, it just, all it does, as Deuce and Mo always say in their pods, if you hit that like button, all it does is just helps grow our channel so that you could just spread our videos to more Kings fans in the community. And we love what we're doing right now. Like I found this new passion that I love. I love this so much, and I love what we're doing.
I do too.
And I'm really glad that we're doing this again and again. I'm always gonna just share my gratitude because we're getting so, our messages are just filling up with people just enjoying what we're doing. They love seeing that we're all going down this new journey together, and everyone is just speaking highly of what we're doing, and it's really awesome to see, and we really appreciate it.
We all share the same love at the end of the day, and it's for Kings basketball, it's for the Sacramento community, and I think everyone watching that's tuning in, that's watching our podcast in length, want the Kings to win, and they understand our authenticity, they understand our takes, and as biased as we are, at the end of the day, we want the Kings to win a championship, and we really believe that that's going to happen one day. Yeah.
And the reason why we want the team to win so bad is because we love the city that we were born in. We love Sacramento. We just want to see the city thrive. There's so much things that are going on in Sacramento that are to be excited about. And thank you so much for being on this journey with us. We're clocking out.
Peace.
Shouts out the night shift.
Night shift.
Next guest.